Hey everyone, Kevin here, and welcome back to my channel. So, yes, I still often get asked the question, do I miss teaching? And even though I think I've covered this pretty darn well in the past by this point, most notably during the video on if I could ever see myself being a teacher again, but there's a different, more nuanced thing I thought I could add to the response, which I started to, but don't think I ever really finished doing in that video. Basically, the straightforward answer is that I miss about 2% of teaching. The other 98%, not so much. But you might be asking, why choose 2%? Well, whenever I reflect on my teaching experiences, what I choose to remember first are the kids. I remember their hopes and dreams. I remember what it felt like to see those aha moments where they got something I was trying to explain to them. And I remember how genuinely kind some of them could actually be. I miss the notes they'd write me, expressing how appreciative they were for not only teaching them, but being there for them. I still have a bunch of those notes literally right next to me here on the wall from kids who made me feel like I was succeeding in my job and achieving my goals of giving students the opportunities I wished I'd had and turning them into strong, upstanding future citizens. I also remember finishing my master's degree and taking a day off to go to my hooding and graduation ceremonies. When I came back the following morning, I walked in to find that my sixth period kids, 10th graders at the time, left me this note on my whiteboard, which I've kept a picture of all these years later. And then when fourth period rolled around that day, one of the students, her name was Tanya, and still remember her name very clearly, gave me this little chocolate cake. Writing this script actually made me want to try and find her, and I managed to reconnect with her on Facebook recently. But overall, Tanya, I wanted you to know how much that really meant to me that day because I was struggling. I genuinely teared up after school from that because I was already preparing to leave the school less than a month later since they weren't renewing my contract. I had been feeling like a failure for quite a while, and you really lifted me up, made me feel validated and valued when the administration did everything they could to wear me down until there was nothing left. It's why I really wanted to take that photo with you before I left, and I still have it. And here it is, by the way. Yep, I still do have it. But I just wanted to say thank you and wanted to let you know that students can have just as much of an impact on a teacher as a teacher can have on a student. I mean, I was so proud of you for what you accomplished in my class in NJROTC, and I always knew that you would thrive in whatever you put your mind to. And I'm sure everyone watching this has a story much like that one. Heck, I mean, I have more stories like that one too. But that's the 2% that I miss. That's the 2% of teaching that is left of the relationship teachers were able to form with kids and the impact that we feel we were able to make. The other 98% of what teaching has become makes me not miss teaching at all. The violence from the bad students, all the administrators who break us apart, gaslight us into feeling that everything going wrong is somehow our fault, and don't provide any repercussions or discipline at the school, plus the endless amounts of paperwork, unrealistic expectations, lack of any semblance of work life balance, bad pay, and all of the other things that I've rattled off thousands of times before at this point. Teachers went into the profession, yes, to obviously teach their subject matter, but also to form relationships with students and see them grow into whoever they were going to be. As I've said many times, teachers were and did their best to remain throughout their careers altruistic. We, maybe a little naively, wanted to make a difference and make the world a better place when we went into teaching. And even though, yeah, it was a bit of an idealized mindset that naturally evolved when it met the realities of the modern classroom, we were still able to do that, at least to some degree. But good luck, now that's just not really possible. Toward the end of my time in the classroom, I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't be the teacher I wanted to be. Instead, I became the teacher I had to be in order to survive. I stopped spending quite as much time getting to know the kids because I didn't have the time or the effort. I hardly knew any of their names by the time I left the classroom. I started trusting people less and spent more time defending myself than teaching the kids because something always came up that I had to defend myself against. My temper became shorter too. I wasted hours and hours doing paperwork I knew was pointless documentation that was only there to make it seem like the administration was actually on top of things when we all knew they weren't. And I stopped teaching the content with the same level of passion that I used to, and that hurts to say. In essence, I realized I couldn't stay in a profession that only 2% worked for me. It was a really important 2%. I mean, there's no argument there. But that's not enough to offset the other 98% that I still look back on and wonder how I ever put up with it for as long as I did. I'm now in a job where I'm valued, I enjoy what I do, I have regular working hours, am remote in the comfort of my own home, and get paid a decent wage. I can even snuggle my cat, and believe me, she's really enjoyed having me home these last 3+ years. And I have time to further my hobbies and find new ones, like smoking brisket and other kinds of meats that I discovered a little over a year ago now, which I'm really, really into. But to kind of end the conversation, for the first time in my professional career, I can genuinely say that I'm happy. And even though that 2% of the job left me with strong, happy memories I do my best to firmly hold on to, it will never be enough to make me want to go back to the classroom. I miss it, but I don't miss it nearly enough to ever consider going back and becoming a teacher again. Well, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Bit of a heartfelt one for me to share, but a really important message that I hope resonated with a lot of you. If you could take a moment to click like and subscribe or ring the bell button to stay up to date with all of my content, that would be greatly appreciated, as always. But for now, I've been Kevin, and I will see you in the next video.